Oh, chat. Oh, guys. Should we stop calling you chat because this isn't live streamed. But that's a placeholder name till I think of something cuter to call you guys. Um, we are continuing from where we left off. We need to break this monkey out of prison. But to break him out of prison, we got to well, we found out there's a secret entrance to get it. So we're gonna go through that secret entrance. Yeah. Usually I do like an update right at the start where I'm like, oh, here's what I did last time, what I did today. This recording is in the same recording as last time. I just, the same day as last time. I just wasn't able to continue playing immediately after because I had to do something. So yeah, yeah. So I'm here now. No, did not mean to. The link is so cute. But yeah, I just had to do something for recording. I had to quickly go to the shop and sign some legal documents. But now I'm back home and I'm really into this game right now. So I just wanted to keep playing. Can I not put this away after I How do I put you away? Oh wait, this is how you shield because of it. That's cute. Alright, what's up? Well, Chop Chop, you're the first customer I've had in a long time. Do you need any magic beans? They sprout leaves as soon as you water them. That they do, they do. I'll give you one free sample, so try planting it on some soft soil. You can always find more. Oh wow, he sure just gives you free magic beans? Get to the get out of garden from over there by the fountain. Find the soft soil and there you can use it. You can plant the beans whenever you want, but if you don't water them, their leaves won't grow. Very nice that he gives us these beans. Yeah, now we're not. Oh. Did not mean to be here. Oh, this is not where I need to be. Here we are. And there should be a place, yep. Alright, perfect. Yeah, so I didn't really have a thing to update you guys with. So we're just gonna get straight into the game. Do I have any funny stories to tell you guys today? I'm not too sure. So we're just gonna continue. I like this section in the game because like the build up to this first dungeon. Because that's the thing with Zelda games, right? The dungeons are like these big crescendos, kind of. Like, there's a lot of build up to a dungeon. So right now we're trying to free this monkey. So, oh, what's Sada gotta say? Hey, don't forget when you launch out of a Decker file, name it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember this. Just a tutorial. So, like, right now we're trying to save this monkey because he's been falsely accused of doing something to the princess. So now we gotta go save her, and we had to go to the dungeon anyways because we need to figure out how to stop Skull Kid. And Tail was like, "Oh, go to these 4 locations." So to these locations. Ooh, this is not good. So to the locations we go. Can I sneak through? Ew, let's see. But yeah, we gotta free that monkey first. So the thing I like about Zelda dungeons is like, just getting to the dungeon should be a little adventure and puzzle in itself, and that's what this first one is. All the other dungeons will be very tragic and stuff. Yeah, we gotta save this monkey. He's actually a friend of the princess, if I remember correctly, so the fact that he's being accused for kidnapping her, a little sad. Okay. Sorry guys. My beanstalk still there? I hope it is. I don't have to buy another one because I messed up. I might have to buy another one because no, it's still there. Alright. Cool. Alright. We got this shot. That was just a mistake. But yeah. What do I have to say today? Today, man, I just really love this game. What is there to say? I mean, ooh, okay. Right? Oh. Sorry, I gotta focus on this platforming. I don't want to screw up again. And then we gotta hell. Like, it's quite satisfying going through these sections. And we're making good time, actually. I'm pretty happy with how this playthrough is going, because we've done a lot of like fun, interesting things, and we're getting to this first dungeon while having done a lot of cool side quests already. Down. That was one mad scrub. Even though it's weak, it sure likes to attack. Yeah. Sorry, I just really don't have anything to say. There's not too much dialogue happening, so I don't want there to be, like, dead, like, air, really. I don't want to be too quiet, but... Did I not hit you? If I stand on top of this, I get a lighter. Man, okay. Okay, that's cool. That's a little close. Okay, if we get through that door, we can save the monkey, and then hopefully save the princess. But yeah, I find it really interesting that in this Zelda game, it's one of the few Zelda games where you don't save Zelda, and your main antagonist isn't Ganon. And I find Zelda games like this to be really interesting, because it lets them escape the whole idea of, like, the reincarnation of, like, the wisdom, because there's the Triforce of Wisdom, Power, and Courage. So it lets the game escape from this idea of the wisdom, courage, and strength people reincarnating all the time. So having Link deal with something that isn't related to those characters is very interesting. They keep saying that I kidnapped her. No matter how many times they say it, it's not gonna bring the princess back. If they're not careful, the princess will fall victim to a monster. Why won't they believe what I say? Fine, I get it. Then I should say nothing more to you. Punish me or do whatever else you might. Well, dude, I'm not a... Like, I'm an ally, dude. Oh, you? How did you get here? Shh, they say they'll capture you. What? My brother asked for your help? Ugh, I'm terribly sorry. Just try to cut my rope, we'll talk after that. Okay. Can I have to... Whoops. How do I... no good after. Wait. You don't have something that can make a lot of noise, like a lot of instruments with sound that carries a long way. If you have one, show it to me. Okay. I have a loud instrument for you. Does that work? Please answer. Oh, you have them, you do, just like the princess. Deku pipes. Those will work great. By the way, who are you? Yeah, I love this stuff. They don't really notice you transforming for whatever reason. So there's a lot of these silly antics. Well, that's not important now. Just listen to me. I was trying to find out about the poison in the swamp, so I went to the Woodfall temple above the waterfall. But the temple had become a monster's lair, and the princess was captured by the monster. Since the Deku King thinks I kidnapped the princess, he won't listen to a word I say. Now the princess is in trouble, so I must somehow hurry to the temple and save her. Do you understand my plight? Yeah, dude. So that means you'll go in my place and save the princess? Yep. Can now teach you the melody that opens the temple. The princess taught it to me. You can't let them hear us. I'll sing it softly. And so if we don't save the princess in these 3 days, I assume he just dies. It's a little sad. So cute. Na 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 na. All right. Got the Sonata of Awakening. This game's so adorable, man. Like, that's what I like about this game. The overall story is so grim, but there's a lot of silly, whimsical moments like this. It really does a good balance of both. Everyone, did you hear that? This melody which only the Deku royal family knows. It proves a foolish monkey deceived the prince so he could enter the temple. Everyone, let the monkey punishment commence. You better take the pathway the Deku people use to get to the Woodfall Temple. But you must hurry. If you don't, I'll be punished by the Deku King. So there's our stakes. Oh, we can... Okay. Interesting. Where is Monkey Boy? Okay, let's see. If I remember how to get there, I believe I go this way to get to the temple. Woodfall Temple. Okay, cool. Alright guys, we're going to our first dungeon and hopefully, I don't know if we'll end it in one episode. Unless I just decide to make dungeon episodes, like, longer. That could be fun, but we'll see. Oh my god, chat, I forgot to start the timer for the episode. Oh my god. Oh, what's happening? Okay, yeah, we're already 12 minutes in. Okay, so this episode is just gonna be a bit longer by default. Sorry, okay. Okay, whoops. I'm still getting the hang of this YouTube thing, chat, so it's... Where is... Ooh. Alright. Let's get to this temple. I believe... Yeah, that is the temple, wow. Okay. We'll be there. If you see down there, there's like this little building we can enter. We'll do that later, but if you enter there... there's a little side quest you can do. But no side quest till we finish this, so... Now, usually I like to reset the day right before we do the budget, but I think we're pretty good on time. And there isn't an owl statue super close by, so I don't want to go through this whole process again. Okay, well... Woodfall. Man, and the moon just watching over us. It's really creepy, huh? Very atmospheric, this area, though, with the poisoned water, the moon watching over. You can't see the temple right now, but I'm gonna show you something really cool. Once we play that song, the temple will emerge from the ground. Hip loops are hot-headed, so I'll charge if you look it in the eye. If it comes at you, assume the defensive position. I believe you can also just blast it. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, the camera needs to be normal. I don't need that. Oh yeah, and if we go over this, as you can see, there's like the magical insignia on the left and right. That is the fairy fountain. So, when we spoke to the fairy in the town, she mentioned that every other fairy has also been scattered to pieces, and their pieces are in the temple. So, actually that doesn't matter. we'll talk to her and we'll find out that yeah, this fairy has green spirits and her fairy spikes have been scattered. Kind young one, please hear my plea. Please find the stray fairies trapped inside the Woodfall Temple and bring them back to us. And I'll recharge our magic as per usual. So yeah, let's go chat. We have a big journey ahead of us. I know. I'm just gonna ignore you. Yeah. Oh, there's an owl thingy right here. Okay, then I might just reset just in case. Isn't this the Deku Scrub mark? I wonder if they worshipped you. They probably did. Okay, and now we can just fly here. But before we do that... Oh my god. Awesome. What's in here? Money? Only 5? Alright. How do we escape? I think it's like... I'm trying to remember the owl song, but I didn't have it off by heart just yet. Okay, now that we've played this, we're just gonna... What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Clock Tower, and this is the UI for the fast travel, so now we can... Now we can just get around way quicker and easier. Which is quite nice, isn't it? Now that we can do that, we're gonna come talk to this lady so we don't lose all our money. Deposit 92. Okay, and now we're gonna just reset time. And after we've reset time, we will tackle the dungeon because I like having I like not having too much of a time limit. I remember I did the water dungeon in this game, and I did it where I only had 5 minutes left to kill the boss. And it did feel really cool beating the boss like that, but yeah, it is not fun having that time limit because if the moon struck during that fight, I could have lost a lot of progress. Now, dawn of the first day. And we will also... So, being able to slow down time plus having a hood that makes us run fast just makes the game very convenient. Look, if we see this kid with the Keaton mask, I think if we wear the Kayfabe mask, we can ask him where Kayfabe is. It's just quickly a little tease. Oh no, he doesn't care. Okay, he doesn't care. Okay, I misremembered. Alright. Alright chat, let's do this. Wasn't it? How did I forget already? Okay. And Woodfall. And now we can turn into this guy, and I'm not gonna even pretend like I remember this one. Oh wait. Banana. Okay, cool. What's really cool is that like almost every incarnation of Link, especially in the 3D games, like they all use instruments except for the Switch era Zeldas. I believe they use any instruments at all. They don't have any connection to music. But every other 3D Zelda, as far as I know, and I guess Skyward Sword doesn't either. But yeah, most Zelda games, they have Link being musically gifted in some ways. And so some people say that like he's like a musical knight type of archetype. Some people even like to say that Link is practically a bard. Yep, we can use a stick to set them on fire, which will help us burn things later. So cool. Arson. Actually, you know what mask we're gonna definitely need to have with us? This fairy mask, so we can identify the fairies. You're gonna see me in this mask a lot while we're in here, whether you like it or not. Well, there's the first fairy. Yeah, so if the... Oh. Yeah, so if we're ever, like, glowing, like if our hair's glowing, that means there's a fairy about. So we're just gonna make sure that... Oh, interesting. It's a black bow. Just calm down and take a look. There are just a lot of them, that's all. What are they called in, They remind me of the Little Prince. I think they're called Gloomies in the Little Prince. They're like these black ghost things. That was cool. Oh my god. Do you guys remember the Little Prince show on ABC3? So, like, Little Prince, it's just a really good story and it's really cute. But, on channel ABC, on channel 23, which is ABC Me, which that's an Australian TV network. If we have anyone not Australian watching, they had a Little Prince show, and what was cool about it, is they had an episode because like with Little Prince in the show, it was all about the prince going to different planets, right? And it's like that in the normal. Is that all of them in here? Let me just check. Yeah, that's all of them. My hair isn't blowing. But yeah, they go to different planets, and there was a contest on ABC3 where you could draw and design your own planet and send it to them, and they would make an episode where the prince explored that planet. And I thought it was really cool. I didn't enter, but I just thought that was such a cool concept. Ugh, this stench! This place stinks just like that poison swamp. So I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure they said it briefly, but this place... This place is what makes this forest temple so important, and that's one thing I love about Zelda games, especially this one. They there's like lore reasons as to why these intricate dungeons even exist beyond, oh, it's just a video game, you need a dungeon. This place, what's interesting about it, okay, we need a key for here, is this temple actually filters out the poison water, but because this place has like a monster messing with things, the swamp is poisoned and stuff, so not only are we doing this to save the princess and to save the monkey and to ultimately save the world from ending, we also are just helping nature go back on course and helping this place not be too poisoned. Now, I'm assuming my hair is going crazy because there's stuff upstairs that we can't reach just yet, so let's continue exploring this dungeon. So yeah, we've gotta save the world. But anyway, I'm low on talking points, and what I usually do when I get to this point in the episode, say another fun fact about myself. So what else is there to say? I, 'cause, 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 ' What do I even talk about now? I don't know, man. How do Let's Plays do? How do they just like play game? Just look. Well, actually, to keep on theme with talking about Zelda, I think I mentioned briefly that Minish Cap was my first Zelda. I guess I'll just talk about. I'll talk about that more in depth. When I was younger, I had a Wii U, and the Wii U is just one of those consoles where a lot of people just agree it was kind of a big failure commercially, and even I couldn't name like 5 people that owned a Wii U. I only knew one other person that owned one. But I hold that console near and dear to me, even if that console had no games. Really, like it didn't have that many games. It was kind of a crappy console. There were some years where nothing was coming out. But what I like is they had this thing called the virtual console, where you could buy really old games for only like 10-15 bucks. So I got Legend of Zelda Minish Cap, which is a Game Boy Advanced Zelda game. And that Zelda game, I loved it because when I was younger, I used to love the idea of like shrinking to be tiny and interacting with the world like that. Oh wait, let's... I have something cool to say about this. Nice. I think that also lets us see fairies. But what was really cool is you could buy these old games for really cheap, and because there wasn't that many games to play just on the Wii U itself, it was really fun getting these old games. And it's very easy to convince your mom to be like, hey, can I buy this thing that's only $10? As opposed to like, oh, can I buy a full retail price game that is like... A full price game here in Australia back then was like $80. Or like 60 if it was like a 3DS game. Or 60 if it was a smaller scale game. So it was very easy to convince someone like, hey, let me get this $10 game. One of those games was Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. And to go back on topic to what I was talking about, with the whole, like, I find the idea of shrinking down to be really cool, because, like, if you're tiny, like, seeing the whole world from, like, an ant's perspective sounds really neat, right? Well, in Minish Cap, yeah, whatever. In Minish Cap, what makes that game really interesting is it has a core gimmick, because every Zelda just has a gimmick. This one is the mask that let you turn into things, which I think is a really cool gimmick, and it's kind of crazy that this is the second ever 3D Zelda to do this gimmick, and this is like, what, the 4th or 5th ever Zelda game? I'll have to look it up, but really early on to Zelda, we just got this really crazy, cool gimmick. But Minish Cap's gimmick is there was these guys called the Picori, and the Picori are basically just little guys that only those that are pure of heart can see. And it adds a lot of context to why they're like, okay, let's send this 10-year-old to save the world. Because only children seem to see Picori, because they're the only true, pure of heart people. So you're tasked with... Can I put this on? Yes, I can. I need to go like this. You're tasked with saving the world, because... Oh god. Because only you can see the Picori. And so already the Picori are kind of cool because it's nice to give like a reasonable context to be like, this child has to save the world. And this game does it too, like Link just like is like, alright, I'll help you out. Because I don't think the mask salesman realizes how crazy it is that he's asking a child to do all this. But it's one of the few people he can rely on. Come on. Nice. Okay, if you put the stick away, it won't melt. It won't burn up and shrivel up. But yeah, and so the Picori are these tiny creatures, but you get the power to turn tiny like they are. They're like ant size. And the game just has this cool gimmick where you can shrink down to be small. And it lets you interact with the world in these really interesting ways. Like, one of the first bosses is a common enemy. It's just a slime. Like, you saw the slimes we were killing early in this game, they're weak. But when you're the size of an ant, a slime is a formidable boss fight. So there's stuff like that that's really interesting. Or some of the side quests in that game had you sneaking around while you were in tiny form to do things. And I found that so charming. And it was a 2D Zelda game. Maybe I'll play it sometime. Oh yeah, that will show us all the fairy locations and other collectibles. But yeah, I found it really cool that like this whole thing is like you're turning really small. And when you're tiny, you can also talk to animals. So it was just a really fun gimmick. And so when you would explore the world, the map is like really small. But what would make it interesting is you'd go tiny to explore things. And so like you could go into the attic or in between the walls of houses. And it was really cool to say the least. And so I found that gimmick to be really cool. And that game just is really fun, gimmicks aside. Like just... It's just a really fun game. Okay. Jump! Jump, Link! Jump! But yeah. And so Minish Cap was my first Zelda game. And it was a really interesting experience. I loved this mechanic of going tiny. And you had a talking hat. Oh no. I hate being in this room. Come on, die. Yeah, let's light it up. Okay, let's light up the world. Nice. Now the gloomy should disappear. Oh well, they won't disappear, they'll stop respawning. But yeah, Minish Cap had a lot of cool things, and that game had a lot of cool side quests too, because the town was really small, but they made the town feel massive via the idea that you can just shrink. And so it lent itself to some really cool moments where you would essentially... Oh wait, will you tell me how many more are left? This is your 6th one. I don't know how many are in a location. I should have asked the fairy lady. I'm sure we'll get them all first try, because we're goated. But yeah, I really enjoyed that game. And there were some cool things like where you would sneak into people's houses because you can go tiny, or you would navigate like how to get into places you weren't supposed to be. So it made it like really interesting. And this game has a bit of that too, like some of the side quests will have you like turning into these different creatures so you can get into places you're not supposed to be. And you have to learn people's schedules to find out like where you should be going to complete side quests and stuff. So I find it really cool. That fun fact didn't stretch as long as the last one. The last one I was talking about my poetry set for like an hour. Come on! No. Ah, okay. I knew I was gonna make that, guys. I just hope this gameplay is fun after watching. Please. Okay. I need to be a bit more patient up there. But yeah, maybe I should share some wisdom. I should say some things that are happening in my life. So I have uni starting next week. I think I mentioned that at the end of last video. And I should mention what I'm doing. So I'm doing a Bachelor of Arts, but majoring in psychology because I want to be a high school counselor. So that's fun. And yeah, I've been enjoying my studies, but just uni can be rough. So I'm both excited to go back and a little not, because I hate not having a routine. It kills me, it makes me feel bored, it makes it hard to enjoy things when I don't have a routine. Because like, I like coming home from work and playing a video game, I like coming home from uni and playing a video game, because I feel like I've earned the right to be lazy and to just enjoy myself. But when I don't have a routine, I feel like I haven't earned the right to enjoy myself. So I end up just not doing anything sometimes. Sometimes I'll just lay in bed all day. Or I won't do anything interesting. and it sucks. But it's also an important thing to learn, right? Like one takeaway from this thing is like you don't Battlefield that's shown below, yeah. You shouldn't overwork yourself just for the sake of it, right? Like don't be like, oh, I need to like justify myself playing video games or reading a book or like vegging out. Like you don't have to justify to anyone these things. Like you should never feel like, oh, if I'm wasting my life by relaxing. It's like, no, we put such a big importance on productivity nowadays, and it just feels like it's just kind of corporate and economic bullshit. Like I don't want to be like, oh, society, but like society, yeah, like we make ourselves think that we have to always be productive, that we always have to be doing something to justify our time. But it's like you're allowed to spend time simply doing stuff for fun and enjoying yourself. But for me, sometimes it's hard for me to take that own advice. So I'm a little bit hypocritical saying this to you all. But yeah, I'm excited to go back to uni because I like the balance of being productive and not being productive. I like doing things. Because it's also just good for my mental. You know, I wish staying home and playing in video games being the only thing I do was really great for my mental, but it isn't. Sometimes I feel gross when I don't do anything. So I don't remember, what am I supposed to do here? I'm looking at the map right now because I'm trying to remember stuff. Okay, I think I know where I need to go. But yeah, you don't have to justify it. But anyway, let me talk a bit about why I wanted to be a high school counselor. I for the longest time growing up, I always told my mom and always told people like what I want to do is I want to make video games for a living. Because I love video games so much and I'm so obsessed with it. So I was like, that's my goal in life. I'm gonna make video games and I'm gonna be the best at it. But the thing is, I don't like maths and stuff, and like coding. Coding is fun, right? But I was like, maybe game making isn't for me. But it wasn't because I was like scared of like programming or anything. The main reason I pivoted to wanting to be a therapist is I struggled a lot with mental health. I was even in a psych ward for like 8 weeks when I was 13. And I hated my therapist. They just sucked. They wouldn't listen. And they were kind of awful. And I told myself, I was like, no, I can do a better job than these guys. So that's a big part of why I wanted to be a therapist. Because I'm like, I know I can do better than these people. I know I can treat people with more kindness than my therapist did. Like, dude, one of the ladies who owns the who's like in charge of the psych ward at the children's hospital I was at, she wanted to keep me in the hospital longer than I needed to, just to spite my mother. Because there was one day where my mother took me home for leave, and I slept over at home before she took me back, and usually you're supposed to return by night. And like just getting leave, like the first few weeks I was in the psych ward, I didn't have leave or anything. So I was always at the psych ward. And so leave was like a big deal, but they were like, oh, you just gotta like make sure you don't break any rules. But my mom did break a rule. And like, okay, I get where they're coming from. Like, oh yes, you shouldn't I always get lost in these dungeons. Should follow the rules and blah blah blah. But like, what annoyed me is like, why are you taking it out? Why are you taking your personal beef out, like the beef between you and my mom, out on me? And like, you should be able to say, like, my mom is a single parent. Like, you should have some empathy to understand that, like, yeah, like, this mother who only has her son really because the rest of my family doesn't treat my mom the best. So it's just like, my mom doesn't have a lot of people to depend on, and my mom herself is a depressed person. So you think as someone who like, okay, if your job is that you manage a child's psych ward, Like, you should be more gentle with people's emotions, but this lady wasn't. And a lot of people, like, I don't know if this is a big problem outside of Australia, wherever you guys are watching it, but you think that being a therapist, handling people's emotions, you would be more sensitive, you wouldn't be an asshole. But no, these therapists were, and it annoyed me so much that these people that I was legally obligated to see as well, because they were like, oh yeah, your son, he can't be on his own, he's a danger to himself. And I was like, you know what, they were right. But you're forcing me to hang out with these people for the betterment of my health and then making me feel worse? Like, they were so, like, careless with stuff too. Like, even with the medicine they gave me, it just wasn't great. Like, it was a Lanzapine and some other drugs. And, like, one of the side effects of these antidepressants was depression. And I was like, how does that work? And even the medicine, like, I literally couldn't get out of bed while I was at the ward for a bit. And they had to just, like, keep lowering my dosage till eventually they found what worked. And I get it, look. I'm not gonna say that was dumb, because I don't want people in the comments to be like, oh yeah, well, when it comes to medicine, they can't get it right the first time, it's trial and error. I know this, I know getting medicated is a struggle and a process. But it was the fact that I had to deal with them not, like, drugging me properly, in combination with the fact that these people were just awful. Right? They weren't really nice. Like, the nurses were amazing people. I love the nurses, right? They were all really cool, and I loved all of them. And I'll talk more in depth about some of the nurses. Okay, we only have 5 minutes if I want to finish this dungeon within the time of, like, a video. But I think we got this, Loki. I think we can. I might extend the video, because we're, like, nearly done. But I don't want to cut things short. Actually, I'm just gonna drown so I go back up. But yeah. They were awful. And so part of the reason why, like I said, I went to be a high school counselor, I was like, I know I can do better than these people. And the reason why I specifically wanted to get into high school counseling is because I love kids and okay. I love kids. And it's hard saying, like, I love kids, because, like, nowadays there's so much, like, evil around the world with regards to, like, shit that's happening to. Oh, this is a cool mini boss. Wait, hold up. I don't want to take away from how, like, ridiculous and awesome this is with my yapping. Wait, this is, like, kind of cinematic. Where is he? Where did he go? Where did he go? Where did he go? See, that's cool, because now they give you a reason to use the mouse. Use the bow. And then in other games, it's like, it's an enemy with a giant eyeball. But in this game, it's like a 2-phase step, and you gotta shoot this guy who's, like, climbing. Like, this is really cool. But anyway, the reason why I wanted to do high school counseling in particular is because I feel like a lot of adults that are depressed never resolve their childhood trauma. And when you're a child, like, I also think I would struggle with, like, counseling people that are, like, under, like, the teenage years, because I just know it would break my heart if I'm a sensitive person. But oh. Hi, Froggy. Wait, we're nearly done with this dungeon. Oh, I can't talk to him. We're gonna have to come back for this guy, I believe, later. But the reason why I went to high school counseling in particular is because, like, a lot of, like I said, a lot of adults that are, like, messed up is, like, yes, they're dealing with traumas, like, in their day-to-day life, sure. But a lot of it comes from trauma they didn't resolve as a child. And when you're a child, you don't always realize how much bad has happened to you. And as a teenager too. But when you're a teenager, you're going through this rough phase in your life where you're learning a lot more about yourself and others. Your hormones are getting in the way. You're falling in love. You're dealing with puberty. You're dealing with, like, you know how crazy it is that between the ages of, like, 13 to 18, they expect you to know what you want to do with your life? They're like, yeah, man, I know you're used to like asking permission to go use the bathroom, but do you know where you see yourself in like 10 years? Do you know what job you want to apply for? And then they pressure you because it's like then you have to make sure you get a good ATAR, and it's like, okay, what ATAR do you need? So it's like, okay, if you need a high ATAR for your job, there's stress, but if you need a low ATAR for your job, there's less stress. But if you don't know what ATAR you want to study what you need, you're like, man, I might as well stress myself up as much as possible to make sure I get like the perfect ATAR. So, oh, okay, that's how we cleanse the water. Nice. But you're gonna stress yourself out being like, I need the perfect ATAR or else I'm not gonna achieve my goals in life. Like, school is just so stressful. So, so I think all of these things, like, contribute to, like, because, like, kids don't have time for their mental health when they're dealing with all this stress in their life. It's like, I saw this thing, and it's like, I took a break from school to focus on my mental health, but it ruined my mental health. And then I took a break from mental health to focus on school, and that, like, ruined my mental health. It's a weird balancing act. And, like, it sucks. So I want to be there for these teenagers that are navigating this tough time in their life. Like, that's where my heart is at. And that's why I'd rather do that. And my mom's like, well, you should get like a private practice or whatever. And it's like, yeah, maybe there'll be more money in that, but I don't really want to do that. I want to just help kids out. That's all I want to do. I want to help these teenagers who are like struggling in life and struggling to learn more about themselves. Oh god, this is making me dizzy. Okay, we're gonna stay in T. Okay. Is there an easier way to angle this? But yeah. Let me I want to help these kids out. So that's why I'm studying to be a high school counselor. So I abandoned my I didn't want to pursue game making more because I was like, I want to do this job instead because I think it is so important. Mental health is really important. Some people don't really look after themselves and their mental as well as they should be. So I want to be someone that can help people with that. And that's why I really want to get into counseling. So that's what I'm studying. So I am excited to go back to uni to get back into that. But it's also like, oh, uni, man, study it. So yeah, that's why I'm studying what I want to study. I just want to help people out because like I've suffered with depression. It's that shit is not fun. Okay, we're just gonna wait. So I want to help other kids struggling with depression and stuff. So yeah, that's. But it's not a thing of me giving up on my dream of making video games. It's that I found a different dream that I feel, to me, is more important. But I think making video games is really cool. I'm not going to say that, oh, if you make video games, you have a less supported job than someone who's a psychiatrist. Like, nah. Like, art does help. Man, I suck at this. Art does help as well. That's one thing that I like with being an author. Like, I wrote a book. And the reason why I like being an author is because when I was depressed, I would read all the time, and that really helped me, like, actually. And so I'm like, I hope that people will read my books and relate to my character struggles and see themselves in my characters, and maybe that helps them get better. So, and you know, like, it's hard to be a full-time author because that doesn't pay the best. You barely get any money per copy sold unless you go independent, but even going independent you might not make as much money because it is expensive independently publishing books. So there is a there's like issues with that. So I think the idea of like being a high school counselor, I get a lot of time off whenever whenever there's like school holidays and stuff. I'll have that time off so I can focus on my writing and other things in life. Because like I want to be married one day, but you know, I like cooking and stuff at the house. So you know, I also find the idea is like, you know what? If I'm a high school counselor, I could be a part-time house husband. But it's also like I think being a high school counselor would be fun, just because like having time off. I don't want to be working all the time and not have time for my future kids or my future life. And I ideally, like, I would really love to be with someone who works. Not because, like, it's not because of, like, any, like, deep reason of, like, oh, like, I'm just so woke, like, I think women should work, and I think this and that. It's like, no, obviously women should work. But it's not that I'm, like, I don't really care about, like, little gender norms within my own relationship. I don't care. Like, if I think if someone is like, oh, I want to be a housewife, I'm like, that's fine. And if a guy is like, oh, I want a woman who's at home all the time, like, I want a housewife, I think that's fine. My only complaint with people who want to have a housewife is like, these guys that are saying this, you guys do not have the money to have a housewife. Because, like, what a lot of guys don't realize about being a housewife is, one, like, all the things your wife is doing, like, if you were to pay a maid or a butler to do all these things, you would realize that there is a monetary value on, like, what your wife is doing, right? There is so much to that. And people don't really realize that. Okay, cool. So there's a monetary value to that. And then not only do you have to, like, make sure you have enough money in this economy to survive off of one income, you also need to just give your wife money just, like, in general. Because, like, if your wife doesn't work, where is she gonna get the money to buy things that she wants, you know? So my thing with, like, traditional households, I think it's fine. I think it's fine either way. Like, if a guy tells me, like, he wants to stay at home and he wants his wife to work, I think that's chill too. My thing is, I find ambition and talent. Ambition and talent is so sexy, man. There is nothing more attractive to me than someone who is talented and works towards something. And it doesn't matter what the talent is. I find passion so attractive. Like with my ex who was, like, into playing music. I used to love watching her play guitar because I just loved seeing that she was happy doing something that makes her passion. And I love hanging out with my friends who are poets because I'm like, man, it is so cool seeing how passionate people are about things. Like, passion is so cool. And so I need to be with someone who works or has, like, ambitions. Like, okay, if I'm with someone and they don't want to work, it's not the biggest deal. And, like, obviously, because I want to have children one day, if my wife like, when she's pregnant can't work, I would try to make sure that I can provide enough to look after her properly and stuff. But I know, I just love the idea of being with someone who works. And, like, I would want there to be time for our children. So if we both had a busy schedule, like, if my wife's job was more full on than mine, like, if she does a job that requires her to that has her not being at home that often, then I would like the idea of, like, my school hours, because if I'm high school counselor, like, by the time my kids are done with school, I'm done with my job. I can be home for them. I can pick them up. And during the holidays, like, when my wife is working, I can look after the house myself. I would gladly take on more, because I would want things to be 50-50. But if I'm at home and more often than my wife is, I'm fine with taking more responsibility. And I love cooking, so I'm fine with thing. Like, that's one thing that I hope my wife doesn't mind doing dishes, because, man, I will cook every single day and night for you if it means I don't have to do dishes. Like, I don't really care if my wife can cook. Also, one thing I will say, this game has a lot of African inspiration, and you could probably... Okay, how do I do this? If he starts dancing and you don't run well, then I really can't. Oh, he has a giant eye on his back? Okay. One cool thing I'll say before I continue narrating it is this game has a lot of African inspiration. Like the masks in this game are a big part of that. So, like, in some African cultures, like, they used to believe that when they would wear the mask of these animals, it would give them the strength of whatever the mask is. So in this game, they take that a bit more literally, with you transforming into that monster or whatever. And then you can see with these bustles, there's a clean, like, African inspiration. You can even hear him, like, chanting. So, and, like, the bright colors and stuff. It's very cool. And I like that. I like this stuff. I think I can only see it. Oh god, any more arrows. Back up, back. Okay, so I gotta fly up. Damn. Sorry. Let me continue my... Do I want to continue my rant about, like, marriage stuff? Kind of. Okay. So, like, I'm fine with doing, like, work around the house, because I have a sick mother, so I'm used to just doing house chores. And, I don't mind looking after someone and having more responsibility at home. So I love the idea of being a high school counselor and having a lot of time off for other things at home. I like the idea of my wife coming home to me and, like, having a meal ready and stuff. You know you wanted that. Butterflies are. Can I do more damage if I drop something on his head? Let's experiment with this boss fight. And yeah, I'm just gonna make this a long episode so we can have the dungeon done in mind. So. Nice! But yeah, I think there's so many perks of being a high school counselor. I have a lot of, like, emotional reasons for one. Oh, you could see Majora's, like, mask when we killed it. That's really cool. But so I have a lot of emotional reasons for wanting to do it, but there's also just, like, the benefits. Like, it pays decently well. I have a lot of time off, which means I can do other things. And yeah. And then my dream is if I get rich enough from being a high school counselor, like, if I save up enough money, I would love to open a cafe. Like, preferably the cafe is, like, somewhere near a school or whatever that's easy for, like, people to access, like, kids to access. And then I would have, like, a student discount. So if I see a uniform or high school ID, I would give, like, little discounts. And then maybe on the weekends, I would host my own little events. And then during the HSC time, maybe give a free coffee or whatever. And open later for kids to study. Because I would love to be a big part of my community. And I would want the cafe to be a tabletop cafe, which would basically just be a cafe where people can play board games and card games there. Because there's some around here that are cool, but they're a bit expensive because they also charge you by the hour, which I guess makes sense. Like, if people are eating food and then they're just, like, sitting there, you know. But I think I would just make that as long as you buy food. Like, if you buy, like, $15 worth of food, you don't... Or, like, $10, or maybe even less, right? Maybe $10 is the sweet spot. Then you just get an hour of board game time. And, you know, maybe on weekends during the day, I would let kids play with the board games free if I was making enough money. But that's my goals. Be a high school counselor and one day own my own cafe. In doing so, you freed the innocent spirit that was imprisoned within the dark mask. Oh, so they captured us. Oh, so the spirit deity that was gone was imprisoned in this mask. I forgot that that's, like, the lore explanation for why these monsters are going crazy. is that Skull Kid is trapping deities in these masks. Masks! Saying mask plural feels weird. But after this cutscene, we'll end the episode. What's that? Wait, listen. It seems to be saying something. Could that crying be its way of teaching us some sort of melody? Don't just stand there, get your instrument. I love how important music is in Zelda games. Oh, whoops. These games always made me want to buy an actual ocarina and learn how to play it. And maybe I will someday. So there's 3 other pillars. It seems like that's referring to the 3 other giants we have to save. You learned the Oath to Order. I don't remember when we're supposed to play that song. This game's so beautiful. Call us. That's what it's saying. So I'm guessing if we summon all those giants and deities, they can help us stop the world from ending. It's funny that I'm saying I guess when I know this game pretty well, because I beat it ages ago. But you guys that are watching this don't know everything about this game, so... The 4 people Tail talked about. Do you think one of them was the spirit that was sealed inside that mask? Oh hey, you're pretty good out there. Have you done this before or what? Yup. Now just keep up that pace and save the other 3. Hey! All that stuff I did to you, your horse, I apologize. Sorry. There, I apologize. I didn't hold it against me, got it? Now let's hurry and help that princess the monkey mentioned. After that, our next stop is in the mountains. We've just got to do something about that skull kid. No map. Where the fuck? Where the fudge are we? I should say. Oh, we're on the near the back. Okay. I don't know if we saved all the fairies, so if not, that's something we're gonna do. Oh, she's so cute! Who are you? Link, pleased to meet you. I am the Deku Princess. Were you by chance asked by that monkey to come save me? Haha, just as I suspected. You see, your body smells a little bit like monkey. See, so the monkey made it back fine after all. That's good. Oh, no, he didn't. I was worried that when I didn't come home, my father would think that the monkey had kidnapped me. I was worried that my father would even go so far as to punish the poor monkey. Hoo hoo hoo. Don't tell me. Are you serious? Is father actually doing that? You had another hasty decision, father. Well, we haven't any time to lose. Quickly, Mr. Link, could you please find something to carry me in so you can take me to the Deku Palace? Yep. When I was a kid, I was really confused on what I was supposed to do here, that I had to look it up. But we're gonna put her in the jar. You put the Deku Princess in a bottle. It's a tight fit, but she says she'll be fine if you hurry. Mr. Link, there's no time to lose. Hurry, take me to the palace. You rescued the Deku Princess who was trapped in Woodfall Temple. Take her to the king in the Deku Palace pronto. Cool. Oh yeah, pronto. So let's... Is this the okay. What I want to do is I want to quickly give all those fairies back and hope that I got them all. Because I'm pretty sure I did, but I didn't do a full-on sweep because I was so like lost in the conversations that we've been having. And I've been having with myself. I mean, I love talking to myself, but now I get to do it with an audience, so it makes me feel a little less crazy, right? Two stray fairies. Okay, got it. Actually, chat, I'm gonna, because I don't want you guys to get bored, I'm gonna pause the episode, and we'll be right back when I get... Actually, you know what? No, I'm just gonna end the episode here. We're gonna save the monkey in the next episode, and the next episode will start with me having these last two fairies here, because I don't want... Like, it's gonna be boring, you guys watching me go back and look for them. So, we'll be right back. I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Bye-bye!